Well, hello folks. I thought we'd have a look at this little dock shunter conversion to 3-rail from 2-rail. And the first question you'll be asking me is why do this? Well, I was given a couple of dock shunters and I can't run them on my 2-rail track, which is fine scale, because the wheel flanges on these dock shunters is quite coarse. So, as I have a 3-rail Hornby Dublo, I thought, can I convert it and run on the 3-rail Hornby Dublo? Well, if you've seen the shorts, you'll see that you certainly can. Now this was a red one, and it's now in a crimson lake. So first of all, we have to remove the little unit here, which if my tweezers underneath, which I can't. This just clips into place. I'll use something different. That's easier. Right, put my finger under there. Same over that side. And it just springs out. In fact, this one's broken by the looks of it. Just a spring steel unit, and that just comes out of there, so that should have been in one piece. Now I do have other ones which I've put down somewhere and lost. Anyway, so that's what it looks like now with the pickup. These dock shunters, they use the chassis, and these two wheels pick up through the chassis, and these pick up, they're isolated and insulated from the other wheels. So on the Hornby Dublo rail, both of the outer rails are part of the current collection system, so we'll only be picking up on these wheels when it's actually on the track, and we'll have something here to connect up with the centre rail on the Hornby Dublo. This version is the one with a knurled. You can hear that. That's got knurled wheels, and they've got slightly coarser flanges. I do have an example which has got smooth wheels, and that's a Triang Hornby. This is Triang, pure Triang. A Triang Hornby, later ones had smooth wheels and slightly finer flanges, but they both run okay. The ones with the finer flanges run better over the points, but this one you'll see later is okay. So that's where we are at the moment with that, and I've now got to make the little unit, which I have prepared one here earlier, and this is what it looks like. And you can see you have to make a little notch in here which fits into there. That has to be that sort of shape. You can see that terribly well. Move the locomotive out of the way so you can see it a bit better. So there we are, clear that rubbish out of the way. So yes, that's the shape that we're aiming for. This one's a bit overlong. This was an earlier version I did. It's actually a thicker brass strip. This is 16/1000 of an inch thick. That's too thick really, so it has to be longer to have enough spring. The one I'm going to make now is actually from 10/1000 of an inch thick brass strip, and that's a lot springier, so that's actually better. It doesn't need to be quite so long, because bearing in mind these only pick up over that distance, so it's going to be compromised. It's a very short wheelbase locomotive, but it runs surprisingly well. So anyway, that's where we are. And in a moment we'll produce one of these in the thinner strip, and I'll show you how this one slots in. It just pushes into here, and that's how it goes in, and it picks up either side. And I actually stick it to the piece of plastic there using 5-minute epoxy. So we'll do that in a moment. Join me later. Pull that out. Right, well that's the piece of strip that I've produced. which has I've bent the ends over and taken the sharp edges off, and that will go into that part there, and it goes in that way like that, and that will be glued into place using epoxy resin. And the thing to remember is this has to be bent slightly, not only to make contact either end, but also it's to clear the gear wheels here either side, because if you touch the gear wheels then it'll short out, so we don't want that happening. Anyway, join me again when I've roughened up these edges, which I'll use a scalpel for, and I'll do that now. So just roughen those that area up here, and there's actually no need to solder this at all into place. I found that it's perfectly okay, it just pushes into place, makes contact, and the epoxy holds it in a straight line, so that's fine. So that's why I'm just roughing this so that the epoxy actually takes to that plastic area there. Blow some of that off. So yeah, join me again, and we'll see it in one piece and running, hopefully. So I'll just move that into shot. Well, as you can see, we've now got the brass strip glued into place. So say if you want to just add a bit of solder to it to make a more positive connection, you can do, but actually I found that there's no need to do so. Perhaps in the longer term that could be done. So the next thing is to take it down and see if she runs. I hope so. Hello, well there we go. We're going to have a little trial run with this this new dock shunter, the Crimson Lake one, with the lighter weight pickup, the 10,000th of an inch brass strip, and as you can see, it runs onto the turntable quite nicely across the set of points there, and but it is noisy. Those knurled wheels do make quite a bit of noise, and but it negotiates the level crossing. As you can see, we're in the stages of producing some scenery. Put the base coat on, ready for grassing. It goes over that set of points okay, and it's just coming up to the end here. Around the curve, and another set of points coming up soon, and it rolls over it okay. We did notice a little bit of a dip, and that's because the wheels are a bit coarse. Now this is the other one I did. I did this much earlier. This is one I did about a week ago, and you can see some others in progress there. And this one runs nicely. This has got smooth wheels and finer flanges, and it runs beautifully. So if you want to convert one, then choose one with the finer wheels. Yeah, popped over that okay. This is the one that appeared in that shorts that I did, which was the trial run. So I'm just going to run backwards now. Now these have got a fair old turn of speed. If I turn the controller right up to full speed, it would just tear along about 200 miles an hour scale speed. But of course it's a shunter, isn't it? So it has to go slowly, and they do creep along. This this particular one with the smooth wheels is absolutely beautiful, really smooth and controllable. Back over the turntable and into the siding.